B-A-T. It's in the name.
This is your Friday Refresh brought to you by the Helping Healing Humor podcast with Ben and Travis. If you enjoyed this short burst of mental health and motivational content, then join us as we explore similar topics in a little more depth and a lot more craziness. You can find the Helping Healing Humor podcast with Ben and Travis at any of your favorite podcast providers. I have always loved cartoons. I grew up when Saturday morning cartoons were the most anticipated event of the week for every elementary school child and some of us teenagers. He-Man, G.I. Joe, Thundercats, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Ghostbusters, Smurfs, Looney Tunes, Transformers, Scooby-Doo, Garfield, and DuckTails, just to name a few. Several of those were offered during the week to help us to get by at times, along with extremely crazy ones like Animaniacs and Tiny Toon Adventures. Then there were the comic books, some of which also had shows. X-Men, Spider-Man, and the Incredible Hulk, the Batman. If it was a comic, I loved to read it and I loved to watch it. I started drawing at a young age, still have notebooks full of my drawings at my house, and much of those times watching cartoons, reading comics, and drawing superheroes included my cousin Travis. If we couldn't do those three things, we were pretending to be superheroes or playing with action hero figurines. As I've gotten older, so many of my favorites, especially the action heroes, have turned into live action movies. At some point, I think everyone has the dream of being a hero, fighting the bad guys, rescuing those in need, or solving the case. I remember once when my very young son at the time was watching us take communion on Sunday morning and wanted to know when he could eat the cracker and drink the juice. I told him he could when he grew up and became a Christian. He grunted in frustration and said, I wanted to grow up to be Spider-Man. Unfortunately, I didn't become a superhero, and he hasn't either, at least not in that way. But I did keep the same desire to fight the bad world when I preach, help those in need through my words and counsel, and try to figure out ways to solve the difficult struggles people are facing. Unfortunately, and unlike many of the cartoons I grew up reading and watching, there isn't always a happy ending or a firm conclusion that makes you smile. Life is like a hurricane. Sometimes all the attempts to help actually fail. But I keep trying, I keep encouraging, I keep digging for answers. Many times it is simply helping people find solutions that are at their fingertips. They just have never considered them. And knowing, is half the battle. And so all that watching, all that reading, all that reenacting has finally culminated in a dream come true. I'm now a comic book character. Travis and I wrote it, and our good friend Jacob Hennigan illustrated it. It's the adventures of Ben and Travis and the Worry Coaster. And while we are not really superheroes, it's a story about kids with real problems and big imaginations that end up helping them find solutions. It's the first kids book we've done, but we hope it won't be the last. You can get a copy of it by going to benandtravis.com/books. In the meantime, be the hero in your own story. Overcome evil with good. Look for ways to help your neighbors and coworkers. Look for solutions to the struggles of those around you. There is probably more to you than meets the eye. Everyone endures struggles at some point. Who are they going to call? Well, I think it's your time. Be the blessing in their lives. Channel your inner He-Man. You have the power. And that is your Friday Refresh.